England won, Denmark won. I regret watching this game. It was boring, lifeless, shambolic, all the big English words you can use. England play with no sense of passion, no sense of urgency. I'd rather watch the likes of Slovenia, Hungary, or even Albania. At least they express themselves, at least they have a plan, at least they have tactics, and more importantly, at least they have no fear, they have a desire to win. Not to go too off topic, but when I first moved to the United States, and I was in school, teachers would give a study guide before you do an exam or a test. And I used to find that interesting, because again, as a student, you're expected to know all the material, but I wasn't complaining. So I used to find it a little funny that, people would really complain that there's no study guide sometimes when the teacher decided not to give a study guide, or that specific professor, said he won't give study guides, and some people would just have a meltdown. And I say that to say this: England seems like a team that wants to be spoon-fed. They want to look on the sideline and the coaches tell them, okay, do this. Okay, now you need to do this. Okay, now you need to do that. Football is very unpredictable. And especially when things are not going well, that's really the time to express yourself. That's the time to play with no fear. Just play. But everything is slow. Everything is, they're overthinking simple passes. Foden was clearly playing as if, he was on social media after the previous game. So he was really trying to force everything, try to make something work. I know he hit the post and almost scored, but his overall play and decision making was really, really awful. Another player, Harry Kane. In my previous post between England and Serbia, I said, why does he feel the need to constantly, drop deep to get the ball? Or why does he feel the need to press? Yes, he scored the goal, but he also was responsible for Denmark scoring their goal. It was a terrible clearance, but Harry Kane should not be there in the first place. And I think I said this team only goes as far as Jude Bellingham goes. He did not have the greatest game, but he definitely showed his quality at times, especially when Ollie Watkins came in and, at least gave that option in attack. Great ball by Bellingham, and Ollie Watkins almost scored. Credit to Schmeichel for saving it. But as a team, this team is just lifeless. Your team needs a goal. Your team needs something different. And you bring on Conor Gallagher. I mean, I don't understand. Trent Alexander, again, something I said in my previous post. Trent Alexander-Arnold is not a midfielder. He keeps trying these long passes, and when he pulls them off, it looks nice, but he's just not a midfielder. What's going on? Kobe Mainoo would have done way better than Conor Gallagher in that game. Sometimes, again, in football, it's more than just pace and power and strength. Look at the likes of Gavi, Musiala, even Pedri. They are small in comparison to a lot of players. But that's where intelligence comes in. That's when skill comes in. That's when good decision making comes in. you know, and that's why we watch football. That's why we play football, because it's one of the few sports where you don't have to physically fit the profile, you know, of certain sports. You can look any which way, but if you're good on the ball and if you make good decisions and you just have that hunger and desire, you know, you can make something happen regardless of, you know, your physical attributes, you know. So you can be the fittest player on the field, the fastest player on the field, but you need some people call it football IQ, I guess. You need that IQ to be able to do certain things instead of just running in one direction back and forth. But I could go on and on about England. Well done, Denmark. You know, I would see it as a positive result if I'm Danish. You know, in fact, I would be a little disappointed maybe that nothing came out of it. Especially those one particular chance they had where Guehi gave up the ball and then Ba dispossessed him. It was a good chance for him to at least make something there. Credit to Guehi for, you know, recovering to make up for his error. But there were chances here and there where Denmark really should have done a lot more. Christensen was really wide open from the corner kick, and he just wasn't able to adjust his feet. Those are chances. Those are the chances Denmark will look back on and be like, you know, I wish we did better. So yeah, it's sometimes you watch games and you can go on and on about tactics and this and that, but it was just a boring game, especially from whenever England had the ball. It's just slow and, you know, sluggish. They didn't know whether to press, whether not to press. Selfish at times. There was nothing going on that left side. I guess that left side is where Foden plays. Everything was going to the right, to Saka. Maybe that's the strategy. Just give the ball to Saka and everyone just get out of the way. I don't know. But he seemed to the only one who's actually trying something different, you know. Credit to him. So yeah, that's it. I don't think I'll bother watching England play again in this tournament unless they reach the semi-finals. Especially that final group game between Denmark and Serbia. I think that's the game to watch, because I feel like I've wasted my time watching these England games. I'm here to watch the Spain-Croatia game as of recording this, so I hope that's a little bit more interesting.